Hello everyone, Mike Turner here again with ADJ, just showing you a brand new feature within the Airstream Link console. And this one's a little tricky, but I think once you understand how to use it, you'll find it very beneficial. So here we go. I'll go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so in the past, if we hit scenes, it would go into the various pages of scenes that we've created. Right? And then these buttons here correspond with that grid there, and that's how we would select them. And then if we wanted to use the faders, we would then have to navigate to the subs tab and then use the faders and use them like so. But there wasn't really a way to use both of these without going back and forth within the submenus. So for me, and I feel that maybe a lot of you might be this way, you will find yourselves working more commonly in the Scenes tab, largely in part because you have more options. It's just a little bit easier to work with this, again, because you have more buttons that you can select at any given point versus the 8 faders down here and having to navigate and so on and so forth. So we've kind of developed a way that will allow you to kind of have the best of both worlds. The best way to access this is that you want to go to settings. Oops, sorry, I'll go to fixture. We'll go to settings here, and we're in our settings page. And down here towards the bottom, you'll see a section where it says scene button mode. If you put it in independent, you'll see obviously that the faders work independent of the buttons and so on and so forth. You're going to want to go ahead and toggle that, okay? That's the first thing you want to do. The next thing that you will want to do is you will want to go to the, I believe it is the, yes, it is the subs page. And I got to that by pressing that button. Now, my recommendation, you could do this on any page. I did this on page 1 just to make it more simplistic. But up here, you will see a little padlock, and by default, it will be open. And if you just tap on it, it will lock and change to red. And so what that means now is that the faders that you see highlighted here that align with these will be locked in place regardless of what submenu you're in. So let's really kind of explain how this works. So here, I have made this my master intensity fader for my spots. Now, granted, I don't have them hooked up right now, but this fader would control the intensity for my washes, like my 7p hex IPs, okay? Again, I don't have them hooked up, which is why you're not seeing how this would work. But again, for me, I do a little side gig on the weekends at a food truck park that's got a little stage where I have 8 7p hex IPs, and then I have these 4 hydro spot 1s that I lease to the venue and kind of run light shows for them on the weekend, and everything's great. But the kind of bands that are coming, they're not national touring acts. They don't have LDs with them, and so I'm basically just busking, just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. So what I have found is that more often than not, I will be busking, which means I am just creating looks based off the energy of the music and how things are going at the moment. And that way, no looks are the same because I'm kind of doing different combinations of these. So here's how all this works, okay? So if I pressed here, you'll see that went to white, but you'll see nothing happened on my fixtures. That is because the master fader, which again, if I go back to page 1, my master fader is on 1. So if I bring this up, you'll see that my fader went up. And if I go back to page 2, which is really where I'm working out of, I can lower this fader and it brings that down. What's nice about this is I can go through any one of these looks. So we'll go on green. You'll see nothing happen again because the fader is down. I do this, now that comes up. So again, I can navigate through any of these colors. It doesn't matter. And you will see it because I have this fader going. So another way I could use that Going back to my subs, scenes, and I'll go back to page 1. You'll notice here, I also saved some pan and tilt effects. So if I stay here, and in fact, I'll go to the other page just to show you. So if I do this, you will notice my lights start doing the medium circle effect that I had saved to that fader. What's nice about this as well, and I don't know if all of you know about this, but this little encoder wheel here, if I rotate right, the speed will increase. You'll see it's getting faster. If I rotate left, it will slow down. And let's just say if I'm going real fast because there's energy and maybe a drum fill or something like that, and man, I'm just going too crazy right now. If I just press this button, it automatically returns back to the embedded fade time. So again, that's just the knob against the fader. But while this is happening, again, you don't see any light coming out because this fader is down. I bring it up. Now you can see my lights are doing everything that I needed, and I can work out of this page. So for instance, this button here will engage the frost. So now you'll see the frost is on. I can take that out. This button here, if I remember correctly, turns on the prism. You'll see it turned on. This one is going to turn on the circle prism. And of course, I can zoom out, make it bigger. I can zoom back in, make it a little bit more tighter, go back to the circular prism. I can do different colors. I can do anything I need, right? I'll go ahead and take those two out. And then here, I saved some static positions in the pink buttons here. So if I want to do my fan out, they do a nice fan out. This one was kind of more of a stage center. And again, I'll go back to fan out. And again, I'll bring this down. Nothing happens again because it's a different look. But if I move this one up, you'll see they start doing that look that I created. And again, if I want to do a different look, right? I want to go back to my circle look. Okay, so they're going to start doing that circle look. And then here, okay, so we're doing this and the song is done. So I just want to bring it back to my stage look. Boom. So that is how the scenes and fader buttons can be delinked now in the latest version on the ADJ Link controller. I'm sure you're going to have tons of questions. Feel free to ask in the comments. And again, this is Mike Turner with ADJ. One last thing. This is me privately doing this in my garage, even though I am an ADJ employee. This is not an ADJ sponsored video. This is me just trying to help out the people that I work with on a daily basis without having to film this in California. So anyhow, thank you in advance. Bye.